What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name's Tarun Shetty. These are my thoughts. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm sitting here in Florida. There's a huge hurricane about to blow through. That's why I'm not outside. The windows are boarded up. Look at this. They're actually called storm shutters. My mom got them installed like last year. And I went for a walk today, and people were just putting up these huge metal things on their windows, and they're saying some parts of Florida are being evacuated. It's pretty interesting living here in Florida. Honestly, it's like, what's really funny is I talked to some friends in LA, and they don't even know there's a hurricane in Florida. It's like they're so self-centered. Like they have no idea what the hell's going on in Florida. It's like I'm on another planet here. That's how crazy I am. I went to an open mic yesterday to try out some new jokes because, I'm always writing. And I text the guy and he's like, yeah, we're still running. It's going to happen. And I drive last night. The hurricane isn't here yet. But I was like, is there going to be people there? And I show up. Of course, the room is empty, totally empty. And they were like, oh, just stay. We can have a small crowd of comedians. I'm like, I'm out of here. Thanks. But it just reminded me like how delusional comedians are. Like, we'll do anything to, try out some dumb jokes. And it was raining last night, and I was like, well, it could have gotten bad. Like, what if I got stuck in Tampa or something? Obviously, the hurricane isn't here yet. It's supposed to come tomorrow. Is it a hurricane? I think it's a flood. I don't even know what it is. All I know is we're boarded up and protected. I think if you really want something, you'll do anything. I remember when I was in New York like years ago, this thing called the Aspen Comedy Festival or the Montreal Comedy Festival, they would have these auditions, right? And they'd have them in midwinter, right? And they'd say, hey, anybody who wants to audition, we're going to do an open call. And you'd show up the night before on the street in the middle of winter, like in February. Like they purposely did it in these like freezing months. Like these guys be frozen, these comedians who all suck, including me, and you just wait outside for 6 hours, 7 hours. They opened the doors at like 9 a.m. and then you go through this huge line and then you do 2 minutes for these, festival judges and they're like, no, and you go home. Like I must have done that so many times because in my mind, I'm like, hey, you know what? This is just the weather. Who cares? Like that's what showbiz is like. Anybody can be in it, really. Anybody can do it. But if you go to Harvard or something, you're automatically in a smaller pool of people. If you go to graduate school or something, but comedy, anybody can do it. What differentiates you is one, your network, and two, how good you are on stage. And I think I'm relying more on how good I am right now in Florida. So I've really got to, press the gas if I want to, do anything in this phase of my career. I've been writing for this other comedian in Florida who saw me at a show. And it's been really interesting writing for other comedians. I used to think, I'll just be a writer when I was finished school and college. I was like, maybe I can, write for Saturday Night Live or a sitcom or something. And this is really the closest I've come to for writing for another comedian straight up, like just giving him jokes. And he loves it. He's really happy with my writing. I'm a good writer, obviously. But part of me is like, this really isn't as fulfilling as I thought it'd be. I don't know if I could ever just be a straight writer for other comedians. And I forget, like some of my favorite comics growing up, they probably had writers, especially when you get older. Like I heard Rodney Dangerfield. If you don't know Rodney Dangerfield, Google him. He's just this masterful, like old school Vegas, like joke punchliner guy. And, I think he had writers at the end of it. It's really hard to sustain this. Like, as I get older, I'm wondering, is it possible to sustain the level of output, because guys keep coming, younger guys keep coming, tastes change, right? Like I really work hard to, write original material, but I wonder if, is there a time where I'm just going to age out of the business? I try not to think about that too much. That's why this weather stuff, it's almost like an afterthought. Although I am considering, I think I talked about how I didn't want to drive 3 hours to do 5 minutes. They reached out and said I could do 15 minutes and they'd pay me. So actually, I might consider doing that. But next week, I'm supposed to go back to LA for a few weeks. So we'll see what happens. I hope you guys have a great week. Stay dry if you're in Florida. We'll talk soon. Take care.